Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. It is Francesco here. I hope everyone's having a great week so far. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I talked a little bit this week about Trello and Todoist, and I sort of talked about the ways that you can use them together in a sense where they're not conflicting with each other. They don't naturally challenge each other for the position of your Todoist application, but they work together to help you vision all of your work, so your high level work and your lower level work, and sort of how to blend those two together. Now naturally, I got a lot of great comments from that video, which was fantastic. I'd love to hear how you guys are using Todoist and Trello together, or whether you're just using one of them. So that was a great video to sort of talk about that, and I sort of wanted to extend that conversation. What I wanted to do is talk about the concept of using a to-do list application with a habit tracker. I think this is a common mistake a lot of people make. They think, I'm only going to use a to-do-list app, or I'm only going to use a habit tracker, and they really, again, can be used in tandem together. So I want to talk about that in today's video, and also recommend a few habit trackers for you to get started with. Just before we start, again, I wanted to mention that if you have any questions or queries, pop them in the comments, whether they're specific about an application. It'd be amazing to hear. So today's question is from Mark Gilroy, who asks a very simple question about Evernote and Ulysses. Now I think it was attached to Ulysses' video that this came from, but Mark asks whether he should consider the likes of Ulysses for his writing over Evernote, because I believe at the moment he uses Evernote as his sole writing experience. And that's a great question, Mark. What I recommend doing is taking some time to think whether it's worth the expense. For example, Ulysses is I think it's $49.99 per year purchase. Again, I'll include that information in the description below. And it's worth working out whether Evernote is a good resource for you at the moment, whether it provides you with enough to get started, or whether there is a financial benefit to joining over to Ulysses. And what I mean by that is, for example, when you go over to Ulysses, there are a ton of useful features for writers. Character counting, markdown, relaxation. It looks a lot easier for writing as well. It's not as organization orientated like Evernote. And it does also, of course, provide writers with a more detailed experience for them to get started, like formatting abilities. And it's working out, if you went over there, would you be better off? Would the financial change gain? If not, then maybe you should stick with Evernote for now. But if you actually see yourself getting more done or being more productive with it, that is something that I would definitely consider. Ulysses does provide a better experience for writers, but you can still use the likes of Evernote for writing, because it does still provide you with a good amount of formatting and a good space to work in. If you have any queries, Mark, feel free to email me, chesialessio@gmail.com. It will be in the description, and I'll happily go over that with you, and I hope that sort of made sense. So guys, let's start with today's video. As I was mentioning, we'll be talking about to-do list applications and habit trackers, and sort of going into how you can use the two together. Now, there is a clear difference between a to-do list application and a habit tracker. A to-do list application is more for actionable items. So it will provide you with a hub to write down the next 30 days of actionable items. So for example, my to-do list application, Todoist, provides me with all of the tasks I need to get done all week. Tick off items on my list so that I can get them done, and it will give me obviously a data around that, providing that I tick them off correctly at the right time, of how many tasks I completed across my day. So it will give me that sort of range of data. Whereas with a habit tracker, you've got an experience that is obviously designed to help you keep the progress going. So it's very similar to the to-do list application in trying to keep you progressing. So a habit tracker will set you up to track a habit or a negative habit and basically tick them off your list. So for example, you can use a habit tracker for something like, I want to meditate every single day and keep that progress going, and you go into the app every single day and you tick it off. You make sure that is an achievable item. However, this isn't the same as a to-do list application. I think when some people, what they do is they download habit trackers and tally all of their tasks down, or tally all of certain things down, and they start ticking them off like a to-do list. This isn't what you should be doing with a habit tracker. A habit tracker is to track certain routines or progressions, not tasks themselves. So for example, a list here would look like pick up blueberries, pick up salmon in the shopping market, maybe go and get new glasses, buy the new iPhone X. That could be a to-do list. They're clear to-dos, they're one-off to-dos, and of course you can have recurring to-dos, but what a habit tracker provides is things like meditate, do yoga twice a week, watch Netflix less, for example, don't watch Netflix today, and you basically have that way of seeing a do and don't list and being able to tick them off every day. It's a very different experience. Naturally, you can have things in your to-do list that remind you. So for example, you could be like, you could have a task saying that's a recurring daily task, check in on your habit tracking app, or check all of the things off in your habit tracking app. That way you can make sure to be reminded to go over to the habit tracking app. Naturally, that will help you do that. And you could have something in your habit tracker like clear all of my to-do list or clear all of my emails. That doesn't necessarily damage the relationship between you and the to-do list application. Now, what I recommend doing is, as you're getting started, start with a to-do list application and sort of build out from there. When you've got a to-do list application, you're actively putting out tasks, make sure that they're one-off, actionable tasks, and they're clear and concise. If you're having struggles to remember, so let's say you want to add meditation to your to-do list, that is absolutely fine, go with that. But you can also use a habit tracker alongside it. Obviously that would sort of be doing the same job, so you could eradicate the meditation from your to-do list and put it into your habit tracker. But making sure that you keep the two of them useful and obviously regularly maintained is the real struggle with using both of them at the same time. But it can be very beneficial because it keeps your to-do list cleaner and it keeps your habit tracker being used. So in terms of habit trackers, there are plenty of them out there. One that I use that is probably a little bit more advanced in terms of habit trackers is called Strides. It's a goal tracking one, so you can actually track habits and also statistical goals as well, which really does help actually. You can set everything from like 3 times a week to 3 times a month, and also everything in between, even statistical goals like saving amounts and things like that. That's one of my high recommendations. It's available on web, iOS and Android too, so it's fairly available too, cross-platform. The next one is Momentum. That's available on iOS and Mac. It's an application that allows you to track your progress, and the really nice thing about the habit tracker inside of that, it's got a simple tick-off system, so you can get started. Real green progress lines so that you can see all of your progress as you go along and sort of keep that habit going, because as we all know, a good habit is adopted over, I think it's 26 or 28 days. So making sure you maintain that is really important. So making sure that's strong and consistent is something very valuable. The next one is Habitica. I believe that's how you say it. It's available on web. It's quite an interesting experience because what it does is it gamifies the whole experience of being able to track your habits. What it does is it brings in real life gaming, sort of like, it's almost like Minecraft blended with a habit tracker. It's quite a cool way of trying to keep your progress going, and you can build up armor and things like that and slay other people. It's really cool, but it's definitely worth checking out. But if you're someone a little more serious, then I would avoid it. Next one, there's 2 here on iOS, Balanced and Streaks. Streaks is a really good application if you're looking for progress tracking. They also have a workout application as well, which can be great for if you're starting a workout and keeping that routine going. You've also got the likes of Balanced, which is an easy to use one. Again, it is very visual and it will keep your progress going across as you tally in every single day. And finally, a Android recommendation, HabitBull is a very specific one. I think it's recently been changed to Habit Tracker. It is probably will be still searchable through HabitBull on the Google Play App Store, but it's a great way to keep track on Android of all of your habits and routines. So guys, I hope this video was useful to you. I hope it brought up some helpful topics. Again, if you have any comments or questions, pop them in on the comments below. It'd be amazing to talk to you guys. And also, if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, join the Facebook group. There's regular conversations about this sort of thing and all sorts, app recommendations, so it'd be amazing to have you. So guys, make sure to have a great week, keep productive, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Cheers.